Hey everyone, we're back. I'm going to talk to this person here and see. Oh, hang
I
on.
feel as if freshly awakened from some long dream. Yet I heard clear each word exchanged between you and the one who possessed me. I remember them still. That woman. She too was named Ulra. Perhaps it was that chance bond that led her spirit to me. And through me she called to you. To one whose strength of will outmatched the master of this place. Arisen or no, my own will seems a guttering candle to your sun. I shall remain here a while, I think, to contemplate the meaning of our meeting here.
Good.
I must believe my claiming this body, my calling you here, held some meaning.
Yeah, I'm gonna go read that.
Permit me to help.
But first, I want to see what these level 3 gear things I got were. See, this costs 25,000, so I want to see. There's all my RC. Ring of Perseverance. Chilling focus. Okay, okay. Dragon's Glaze, alright. Sapphire Daggers. Bane Archstaff. Bonds of the Dragon. Apostate's Anklet. Hellfire Cloak. Alright, let's look at this stuff. Really good. 820. This is a ranger bow, so that'd be good. I don't think those are better than my current daggers, though. That might be better than the dagger. Is that better than the melting focus? I don't know. Why anyone? -3. But... I think the apostate anklet's probably better than the hellfire cloak.
Pray permit me to help. If there is aught I can do, say.
Alright, so if we go to our weapon, I have... Where's our melting focus? Solar. It's probably better than that. This has 587, 950, so it's definitely better. Yeah, okay, so this would be better. Cool, okay, good. Let me look that out. Try a pasta ankle. Oh. There's stairs.
If there is aught I pray.
You.
Sent up, mate. If you
Alright, let's just take you right up to level 3. There you go, done. Exotic high boost. Alright. Level 2. Okay.
if you've the need and the coin, no doubt.
Alright, so what we're gonna do before we do anything is we're gonna see if our shortcut is reset. If it's not, we'll try. It looks like it is. Alright, so yeah, I'm not gonna do that on stream. I'm gonna record that for YouTube later for you guys. Instead, we're gonna go read the lore rock, and then we're going to go and fight the Ur Dragon as the last thing we'll do in Dragon's Dogma.
This pawn is ever concerned for your future, Arisen. An epitaph, perhaps.
Monument of Remembrance, the recollections of another Arisen. I have wandered lost in this damnable maze for, must be a year now. I have found no hope of escape. At times, a voice unknown to me seems to resound in the back of my mind, but my own daily fight for survival has left me with scant energy for pondering such mysteries. From here on, I shall strive to make a record of my journeys, if only brief. Perhaps Perhaps a journal of my thoughts might bring some small comfort to me, or any who would follow. Arthurus. I've encountered many fellow wanderers in this queer place. There are endeavors for which I would entreat their aid, yet any attempt to join my cause with theirs has been futile. The others are oft preoccupied with matters of their own. Some regard me with hostility, while others slink away with nary a word. Indeed, many seem to have parted ways with their own reason. Perhaps it is to be expected among those such harsh environs. But with each rejection, my pang of solitude take on a sharper edge. He lashed out at me like a wounded animal, malice clear in his bloodshot eyes. I finally managed to calm him somehow, and he told me his tale. He spoke of losing his heart to a dragon, so that he might avenge himself against the noble responsible for his daughter's death. But when I suggested a union, he would not hear of it. Instead, he vanished back into the labyrinth depths from which he came. I've not seen him since. A woman of scant few years. She says she was arisen too, and in search of armaments from some prophecy or legend. She had a composure far beyond her years, but in her manner gave me hope of fellowship. But she refused my invitation flatly, calling the duty hers to achieve alone. Mayhap she had some fear of me? She too, I have not seen or heard of since. Perhaps she found the item she sought, or perhaps something else found her first. Makes me wonder, is Bitter Black Island a convergence of time? All the folk I have met in this labyrinth, without exception, are acquainted of a dragon. They are all arisen. It is curious indeed to meet so many with a destiny so like my own. Have we all been led here? Who would design or gain from such a ruse? What could await us at its end? I must ponder. But another day. I mustn't let it distract me from the task I have sworn to complete. I am weary from toil and impatience both, and still the whispers continue. I had steeled myself for a hard journey, but ne'er did I anticipate an ordeal such as this. One might think I'd grown accustomed to the isolation, having long since lost my attendant pawn, but it only grows harder to bear. There are rift stones here, but they're all broken, and I shan't expect to see them mended. Now my only companion is that strange voice. Dude, rift crystals, they drop all over the place. That voice, it speaks within me, growing louder by the day. Frustrating any attempt to ignore it. Even keeping a hold of my own thoughts has become a struggle. Is this some omen of impending death? Clearly it is not the voice of my dragon steward. Monologue is incessant, its words clear and crisp, but I cannot grasp their meaning. Perhaps strangest of all is how little I'm bothered by hearing it of late. Could this voice be attempting to instruct me how to proceed? Might it enlighten me about the darkness in which I've been sealed? But I must not forget, I have a duty to perform. A duty. But what? Ah, it is impossible to gather my thoughts. What was the duty I pledged myself to? What was it that I once I believed? Are these the pawns that I ran into along the way and killed? Recorded here in case I should ever forget again. I am arisen. 'Tis my duty, sworn to bring everlasting peace to my homeland and by making an offering of untainted souls, 1,000 human sacrifices. But as of yet, I have fallen short of my obligation. That sounds very berserk. I swear again, I will honor my promise to the dragon and receive its boon. I will locate and deliver the souls required, even in the depths of this dark place. I had only to listen. What was once only fog is now as a spring day to my eyes. What was once only noise, now is song to my ears. It whispers the answers, net before I need even ask questions. I must continue the sacrifices. And so come the arisen to this place, the salmon climbing down a great, dark stream. They aid not in life, but in death. Their blood fulfilling my promise and my duty. I had only to listen. To serve her master and be as she commands.
Serve her master and be as she commands. To be shaped in her image. That is the part of a pawn. But my master's image is no longer her own. Defeated by the world's steward, she fell into perdition. Having witnessed her fail to achieve her purpose, my breast was filled with regret. Yet amid that darkness, a spark of light too took root. Within my soul, a crude and inchoate mirror to the Arisen's own, new strength emerged. I had awoken to love. I came to notice the changes within me as his tireless ministration saw my shattered memories slowly mend. I came to love him, as my master had before me. Then some years later, fate came on dragon's wings to mark him an arisen, as his master was before him. Though his heart was lost, he seemed more alive than ever. He burned with new purpose to slay the worm and avenge Grete. I became his pawn of my own will. I too saw in this a new calling, to love him, serve him, and lend him strength. Ultimately, to become as him. It was a fate I welcomed gladly. Defeat me or speak your wish and offer up a sacrifice. A second time I heard the dragon's bargain spoke. Yet I felt a strange reluctance in its tone, as if the ultimatum were given unwilling. And in that moment, I knew it. The worm we now faced was my former master transformed. The revelation tore him apart. Whichever his choice, the wages were cruel tragedy. A new and dark desire poured forth from his sundered soul. His wish for power to destroy all existence marked me for death. And yet I never blamed him. For as my life was snuffed out, I held firm to my belief. The day would come, I knew, when he, our master, and I myself would find redemption.
So the first part was Damon, and now we got Ulrez.
Still a child, I stood amid the ashes of my village. Through the driving rains, two figures came. One, a woman of golden hair, extended me her hand, perhaps in pity. Grete was the name she gave. A hunter of sorts, she said. Her quarry, the worm. As she spoke, the woman at her side simply stood.
Was it Grete?
Wordless. She was a pawn, come of a different world, the first I had seen. Her air was strange, yet somehow alluring. I chose to join them, this Arisen and her pawn. It seemed that, or stand forever in the ruins of a lost life. They offered no words of invitation, yet neither did they turn me away as I followed. As we traveled, I was taught to fight. Grete was my mentor, my mother. She breathed new life into my parched soul. Then came the day the huntress found her mark. She left to face the worm. That day's parting proved final. Her pawn returned, alone and scarce alive. Gone was the bold and faithful Myrmidon who had served as Grete's steel. Her empty eyes stared through me now. And what of the worm? Had our mistress felled the beast and stayed calamity? The pawn held no answers. Her mind and soul as broken as her body. Yet no more of the earth was swallowed up. No more was the sky stained black. It seemed the world had been ransomed. Or left at least to fester in the custody of humankind. I was left with a single hope, a single wish. To bring back light to the deadened eyes of a masterless Myrmidon. She was a pawn, I knew it well. Not human, not of this land. And what of it? She bore Grete's meaning, her face. Wheel or nil, I soon found myself in love.
So is Ash Damon because he was in love with Ulra and Grete was his mother? Well, mother figure, I guess.
To know the unknown, that was my dream. To walk new frontiers and ancient halls alike, and to see all that this world holds. I was prepared to overcome any obstacle that barred my wandering. And so, when the dragon plucked the heart
Hey,
from
Locke.
my breast, I knew only joy. With new power and ageless life, I was free. I knew no greater treasure than freedom, no higher virtue, and yet, what drove me then to take him with me? What ought to have seemed a fetter became my greatest joy, my greatest love. And now, I haven't even the freedom of my own will. I followed the Arisen's path, past the worm into the halls of the World Steward. And there, my path ended. In defeat, I was remade a dragon. From the moment I donned a dragon's skin, I was controlled by a single driving urge. To serve the Seneschal. This one thought consumed me, its pull inexorable. It was a hunger, an instinctual need. I burned for one who would defeat me, who would succeed where I had fallen.
Grete Grigori.
The new Arisen. It is man's will that animates him. Can a being devoid of will truly be said to live? Am I alive, as I am now?
The fuck, Long?
The will that drives this cursed form to seek the Arisen is not my own. My will, my love, and all I am is crushed beneath its weight. Its force does not allow me even the luxury of regret. I am near drunk with it, though I war against it still with every shred of what once I was. In my final act, as a thinking being, I chose him for my destroyer. The question fell from my lips unbidden. What is your choice? Were it his wish, I would welcome death at his hands. Nay, I desired it. But his wavering gave voice to a new wish. That the world, its gods, and he himself be damned. My rule was set, my actions bound. I existed in that moment solely to give his wishes form. And so I did. I answered his desire, his cry of despair. And his love, my former shadow, was the price. My dreams have died unfulfilled, though I have neither the means to change that fact, nor the free will to mourn them. Perhaps what has transpired will serve some greater use. Let it be as a wedge struck into the chains that bind our endless, hollow world, that those to follow may shatter them. I failed in my quest to explore the unknown, but if it serves some use in ending this cruel cycle, I can believe my life held meaning.
Hey P! Welcome! Guys, join Long for a boss fight. Hi Long, how was your weekend?
In memory of Grete, silent-hearted, dragon-forged, with hair of gold and will of tempered steel.
Didn't rhyme.
You ransomed me from a village burnt to ash, instilled life and fight. Dearest mentor, I commend you now to rest eternal. Your servant, bereft of master and memory, I keep now at my side. She lives on, your mirror in soul and body both, and I will not lose her as we have lost you. This I swear before your empty grave.
When you first get here, P, it's when you first get here, P, it doesn't. You can't access this. You have to go around and collect them inside the actual dungeon.
Now choose. Stand against me, or speak your wish. Offer your beloved in forfeit, and I shall see your will done.
Choose? How am I to choose? No matter my answer, the price is death. A hollow choice. Who am I to stand as arbiter of two lives? What would you have me do? You brought me here. If this be the will of the gods, the order of the world, then damn the lot of them! I'll tear the whole of it asunder!
Very well. If that be your wish, I shall claim my price.
Stop! No!
It's like when you accidentally wish for something, not meaning to, when you have 3 wishes.
You have been chosen. So saying, the worm prized the heart from my breast. I was made Arisen, known to the dragon, and bound to hunt it. It is a fate I embrace. What use have I for a heart left hollow? In a world without sweet Grete, My mentor,
Yeah, that line right there.
my beloved. I live only to see the dragon that claimed her slain. I will see its scaly hide stripped from bone by my hands ere I rest.
Yeah, that line right there. Without sweet Grete, my mentor, my mother, my beloved. When I heard that in the dungeon, I was like, wait, hang on a sec. Because it's not clear he's talking about different people there. There's no indication. He just mentions the one person.
Arisen, bearer of the dragon's mark, undying corpse, enjoined to make your will manifest. If my voice reaches you, heed me well. The Arisen, the Seneschal, the whole cursed world, all is but an illusion, a meaningless refrain, a hollow echo. What sense is there in giving one's life for these falsehoods? I damn them all. And I will not cease in my destruction until the last senseless cycle is broken, the last bond rent to dust.
Hey guys, go. Oh sweet, I leveled up from reading that. Excellent. I always wanted to be level 104 and 105. Speaking of which, I now have 1,496 attack power. Great. Alright guys, we are gonna go back to... We're gonna go fight the dragon. We're gonna go fight the Ur-Dragon. That's gonna be the last thing we do in this this playthrough. Yes, Tyler, give us a lore dump. Who was that first person? I don't know that. Was that Barrack?
Might we ask the locals of the Pond Guild?
Was that P? The first guy was Death. Oh! Intriguing.
I'm near certain the Pawn Guild can be found up ahead.
These days, they're not coming.
The master works all. Huh. Okay, I like that they included Death in there as an actual character.
You're big, and you like.
Okay, so we're gonna do this as a sorcerer. Gonna equip this. What's my gear that I normally wear? Can't wear my trophy jacket. Steve, do you have my gear? Ah yes, my postage anklet. I don't really care about most of my gear.
What will it be today? What will it be today? Have your pick. Any you like. What will it be today? Understood.
Yeah, I godsbane myself as the Seneschal. Not that dragon, P. I'm gonna go fight the other dragon.
The guild lies at the city's west end.
Aye, the inn offers a clean bed, but it deals in both...
Bonds. They have their myself. Have your pick. Any you like. What will it be today?
Different dragon.
What will it be today? Have your pick. Come again soon.
I got a cool staff now. Alright, so on this class, I have 2,156 magic power, which is more than I had last time I tried to fight this guy. So, okay, so they never tell you who the Arisen who lost to him was then.
Let's make for the pond.
Yeah, I figured that. So the Wake Stones are the hearts of the failed Arisen. The mini dragons are the drakes are the Arisen who died before getting to him.
Let's have a look at her quarters.
I wonder if any of this is touched on in the online Dragon's Dogma that we never got over here because fuck us, right? What would you do if Dragon's Dogma 2 is just an offline version of
This is a place quite restful to my kind.
of Dragon's Dogma Online? I mean, logically they could just do that. This is a world I would love to have more lore in.
The sea appears calm at least.
Dry fish are a local staple.
Spring Dragon's Dogma Online for us.
There's ought to be found along the coast ahead.
Searching in this area now.
So Tyler says the world is just one huge cycle of God wanting to retire and find his replacement until you decide. Now think about that, okay? The cycle goes on until just the absolute right path of choices are made to reach him. I still gotta replay the game a bunch of times and get the endings. You were rewarded for your contribution to it. Oh shit. Hang on. What? Is he defeated? This is the online version. Oops. Hang on. We gotta leave anyway, but I'll go pick those stuff up. What'd you give me? What is Seeker tokens even for? Oh, good. The game then resets and you have to do it all over again where you are the final boss. The quest where you gotta turn in 100 of them. I never found that quest. Hang on, guys. I just realized my character is barefooted. The reason why we're running over here now is because I have to swap to offline and then stay the night at the end. I keep forgetting to swap off. Make Steve the god. I already did, kinda. I left him there alone in the other world before forcing Steve to take over my body and marry Eleanor.
Try. Speak with me once you... What can I do you for? You seem tired, cousin. So be it.
In New Game Plus, the Seneschal can either be the Arisen of a pawn you've hired, or yourself. That's kind of neat. Kind of reminds me of in FF14, Odin can spawn in the one of the areas of the 12's Wood, and Odin takes the form of whoever got the final blow on him. So out of the... back when he was readily farmed every time he showed up, out of the hundreds of people that fought him, whoever got the final hit, he would look like the next time you fought him. Which is kind of neat. The next time he spawned. Alright, so we're going to reset this recording.